agenda that I removed from the agenda, and it dealt with the hearing regarding the matter of Jenny Smith, and that's not on the agenda. Neither the council nor all of the parties were prepared to present the hearing today. It will be rescheduled, and it will be rescheduled as soon as possible. It's not an issue that we want waiting long. So what we're going to do is, at the end of the council meeting in Good of Apprenticeship, which is a time on our agenda for folks to be able to come up and talk to the council about anything that they think is important with respect to the Good of Apprenticeship in Oregon. We're setting aside 20 minutes for you to come up and talk about whatever you want to talk about to the council. And I do appreciate very much all of you coming down to talk about the issue.
I want to start by saying I appreciate the Commissioner's passionate belief in civil rights for all. I think there is a good deal of expertise on the council and in this room when it comes to showing leadership and providing technical assistance to joint apprenticeship and training committees who have not yet embraced an inclusive philosophy. Bring your leadership and wisdom to sending a strong message to Oregon's JATCs that they need to be part of the solution.
We tell our students that the construction and utility workforce is aging and that there's a place for them and that they're needed. We tell them that all apprentices who fulfill training requirements will journey out. It's the responsibility of this council to see that these values are fulfilled in training and on the job site. Please live up to that responsibility.
As a woman who has been through an apprenticeship, I'm concerned that policies regarding safety and harassment, protection for all apprentices, has either been absent or unenforceable.
Safety is a vital concern on any construction site. The most dangerous environments that I've ever worked in has been a hostile work environment. And you can't just blame this on the victim. You can't just say that it's a dangerous environment because the victim is distracted. The harassers, the abusers are also not paying attention to safe work practices. They're concentrating on trying to make an individual look bad. They're concentrating on trying to protect themselves from the consequences of their own actions. And the solution, sorry gentlemen, the solution is not to get rid of me. I am not the problem. You cannot solve the problem by removing the victim from the work site and from the industry. By refusing to let us be electricians, by refusing to let us be carpenters and plumbers, it doesn't solve the problem. I'm asking you to please.
I believe since 1978 there have been a lot of changes, but we're not there yet. I personally know of several apprentices in electrical, plumbing, and the 10 knockers who've thrown their female apprentices, who've thrown their hands up and just left. They never make it before your committee because they're just tired.
Every apprentice puts up with crap as an apprentice. And, you know, hazing, we all do. It's a form of harassment that nobody wants to say anything about because they're afraid they're going to lose their apprenticeship.
It's not enough to get women and minorities into the trades. It's not enough to even pre-train them before they come into the apprenticeship to be ready for the trades, because I mean that's good, but it's not enough. You need to have environments where they can succeed. I feel that you guys have an opportunity to make a difference, you know, and really all of us, the only difference that we can make is we can make choices within ourselves to do the right thing.
Back in the early 80s when I was an apprentice, I was working for a contractor who, at that time, there was, on our progress report, there was a place for him to put whether or not he recommended me for re-rate. And so this contractor did not recommend me for a re-rate, and because of that, I was cited before the committee. This is my first time being cited before the committee, and I was nervous as all get out, and I thought I was going to be reprimanded But it turned out completely different than what I expected. I went to the meeting and they basically said, how can we help? And I'll never forget it. You know, because I thought, wow, they're on my side. I couldn't believe it. And they were on my side all through my apprenticeship.
I have very similar story to everybody else. I've been harassed. I've been verbally harassed. I've been sexually harassed. I've had sexual harassment that even went as far as to involve my family. I had all of the things that every company wants to say, nope, our zero tolerance policy does not allow for that. And it's going to continue to go on until there is accountability for everyone in the company, that they have some type of personal accountability that's instilled into them. You talk about, you know, hazing happening to everybody. You're right, but does the pack mentality need to be continue to be tolerated?
I find myself in an odd situation. I'm the manager of Apprenticeship for the state of Washington, but I'm also a person who has been through most of the same things that the women have talked about with you today as a tradeswoman. I was physically assaulted on the job. The things that happened to many of the women in this room also happened to me. They do change who you are. And it's sort of like that quote, what does not kill you makes you stronger. And I think that's true for a lot of us. But why should we have to be almost killed to be made stronger? I have no idea about the case that before you. I can't speak to it in any way. I can speak to 40 years of knowing what it's like to always have to go in and say, honestly, I really know how to do this. And if you would just let me just do this, my job would be so much easier. The job isn't the hard part. It's trying to convince you that I can. That's the hard part. The discrimination that I faced 38 years ago, I can't say that it's gone. It isn't gone. And for some people, it may be as severe as what happened to me or much more severe. But the message needs to be there that we all belong, we all deserve, we all have a right to a harassment-free workplace and pride in what we do.
Leadership really sets the tone from council, sets the tone on the JATC, sets the tone on the job site, and you are leaders and can be an important voice for setting the tone in apprenticeship in Oregon. And I just want to make sure that I'm here to support Jenna through this, because what she is bringing to our attention is going to make a difference for all women in the trades, and I think for all of our brothers, because our brothers' work environment is better when they have their sisters there.
But I do know one thing: discrimination, harassment is alive and well in the state of Oregon, and it's running rampant. And it's running rampant because people in leadership roles, whether it's union or non-union, do not want to take an active position and stamp it out. We have to make sure you follow your own policy. You can't ask the apprentice to follow something that you don't follow. Until we get to that position, we're going to have people and problems like this before us.
Thank all of you for your comments. I would like you to know, though, that there are programs out there that are trying to do what it is that you want to do. I administer a large multi-state apprentice program, and we work very hard to make sure that everybody is treated fairly and equally. I know that things exist that we don't know about, but when we find out about them, we try to put an end to it.
All right, Ms. Ashbrook, Ms. Smith, thank you very much. And with that, we are adjourned.